Hey guys, this is Darrell here with iNerd. Game of Thrones episode 5 of season 8. Lots of stuff going on here. I caught bits and pieces of it hosting the event, but Varys' death, do not like it. I knew it was going to happen when Melisandre had told them they're going to both die in that land. I kind of expected Arya to kill him because of the narrative with her list and Varys being instrumental in her father's death, but apparently that did not happen. I did not expect the Hound to toss him and his brother out of a window either, but that happened too. I kind of expected the Conclave Bowl to be a more drawn out thing, but like I said, I missed a lot of that, so I'm gonna have to catch it on rewatch tonight. But pretty much from everything I saw, it looked like things I predicted. But with the commentary from everybody else, I'm hoping it fills in some blanks for you guys and that you'll be able to share your reactions and ideas in the comments below.
Hi, I'm Shane.
Ray.
What's up? I'm OC Romero, Diamond Age Media.
And I'm Khan, at Khan.wait.
I've watched all the series and I've read all the books in George R. R. Martin's Song of Ice and Fire series. I guess the books got me way more into the show midway through. And
Well, I've been watching Game of Thrones probably since season 3. My bro Supreme over at iNerd got me onto it. Been watching it ever since. It's a dope show.
Honestly, I started watching Game of Thrones because I was talking to this girl and she was like, oh yeah, it's finishing up. I was like, okay, I'll check it out. So I dedicated myself 3 weeks, binge watching the whole thing from start to finish, just caught up. And yeah, it's a really good show, even to this point, yeah.
I have watched all of Game of Thrones. I never read the book. I'm a horrible fiction book reader, so I never read the book, but I did get very into the series. They broke my heart early on when they killed Ned off. That was my dude. And then I got over it and just kept trudging through, and now we're here.
I've watched all the series and I've read all the books in George R. R. Martin's Song of Ice and Fire series. I guess the books got me way more into the show midway through, and of course, now we're avid. I watch it, multiple times a week like everybody. I got my Baratheon blood because Baratheon was remarkably missing from this episode. I guess they got maybe their one call out last episode for the entire series. We'll see if Gendry makes a comeback. The Hound had a great send-off for a great character this episode. I think predictions for next time, we'll see if anything that hasn't already been wrapped up will be. I mean, it was pretty much like what we hoped for, right? And now it's just going to be Queen of Ashes.
Hi, I'm Ray, Soul's a Soul. I've watched all of Game of Thrones. I never read the book. I'm a horrible fiction book reader, so I never read the book, but I did get very into the series. They broke my heart early on when they killed Ned off. That was my dude. And then I got over it and just kept trudging through, and now we're here. My takeaways from this, oh my god, the Hound send-off, amazing.
Conclave Bowl.
Lord Varys' execution, he went out like a G. And I was wishy-washy on that dude the whole series, and the send-offs they've been giving people for this show, amazing.
Varys made some good moves there.
Oh yeah, he did, and he was just.
I thought they opened the episode with it they kind of led us to believe he was going to succeed at that. It really looked. We got some close up on his handwriting. He's got some good script.
And then he had the ultimate "I told you so." So then moving forward, Daenerys, bro. What the fuck?
I feel like she always wanted she always just would rather have had one dragon. Just easier to do it, okay, I got one, now I know what to do.
Good lord.
And she did. She
the Scorpions, for real? How do you beat a scorpion? Go in a circle.
Okay.
Because they don't turn fast.
Okay. But Urian, who tried to save Arya from King's Landing and take her to Castle Black, on her way to Castle Black in season 1, maybe season 2, yeah, season 2.
Season 2.
he said crossbows take too long to load.
Yep.
I noticed that at the beginning of the episode, they were like kind of like zooming in on the crank.
Yeah.
Sure, I took down Viserion last episode. He was already wounded, but I think the crank like kind of let us know these things aren't going to be as handy as they let us to believe.
And Arya, the ultimate survivor, she wins the Survivor Bowl of everything. Like, I mean, they're going to have to just stomp on her or something.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see a whole series of her riding off into the sunset at the end of every episode.
I just want to see her, Arya's escape room. That could be a thing. Like, I mean, seriously, she's escaped from everything.
I don't know what I thought about this last episode. I liked it, but I didn't like it. There was some parts that I loved and some parts I hated. It just wasn't... I don't know, I feel like this fight should have came before the Battle of Winterfell because it just seemed much shorter in comparison. And I don't know. It wasn't a real battle. It was just like more like, you know, a bunch of people getting slaughtered out there.
Alright, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I actually think this episode was a lot better. It was an improvement on last episode, that's for sure. I like the spectacles. It was pretty gruesome, and as you kind of expect from such a siege, like it was a siege on such a big city, so you kind of expect that. And there's dragons.
Was that really a siege though? A siege lasts months. That was like literally a day or half a day's battle of her like laying waste to the entire city.
Well, since you have a dragon, it's a different kind of siege. It's a very
it was
siege.
more like you know, a stampede of fire coming through.
Touche.
I mean, it was a great episode. It was a lot of great action. There was just a few things that I was disappointed in. You know, I thought that you know the Golden Company was so topped up. I thought they were gonna actually be good, and they weren't.
Yeah, they just got wiped out in like one fell swoop, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, and they lined up outside of the gates, which was just terrible. I don't know. And then they made the ballistas or whatever, the scorpions just look. They overpowered them and then depowered them tremendously.
I do agree. It is a little bit inconsistent. That's why earlier I said that I still like it up to this point, but admittedly, the quality has kind of gone down a little bit. Yeah.
But that being said, I still loved what I saw, and I can't wait for the next episode.
The last one.
Oh, I honestly think they're going to do this House of a Thousand Corpses style. Everyone's going to die. They end the series with someone tripping down the steps. That's the last known character. They die. Everyone fucking dies. Like, they all have to die now. Like, there's almost no good people left. There's John. They're probably going to kill him. I'm going to cry, and then I'm going to kill myself.
And
like,
John's like a couple episodes behind on everything.
Right.
He finally sounded the retreat 30 minutes later,
like
40 minutes to
45 minutes into Rape and Pillage, John was like, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Did you guys have to give any shout outs?
Happy Mother's Day, Mom, Johnny, Yozo. She said she's going to start watching the series in full. She told me that today.
Oh, nice.
I think I showed her the first 1 or 2 episodes like a couple years ago, back before I knew just how much I was into it.
I'd like to give a shout out to iNerd. I love hanging out with you guys. Like, what you guys are doing here is amazing. Mad shout outs to you guys. Really appreciate being out. Shout out to my crew, Souls of Soul. I always representing Kansas City b-boy scene. Catch us at iBreak. Come learn about hip hop. Also, happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Very cool.
Love the culture.
Honestly, it's the King of the North versus the Dragon Queen, I think, from now on.
Yeah.
I think that's the last episode. That's pretty much how it culminates. She's shown herself to be of less than disreputable character now. And she's pretty much sealed her own fate as a villain at this point.
I think they could have done a better job of planning out her turning into a villain. Like, I felt like that's a little, the way that they've done it, it's not very well thought out, and you can clearly see that it's a little jarring, the transition from being a good guy to being a villain like that. But, you know, my vote is still going to be on John. I've been saying it for a while now. John is going to get the throne, or whatever is left. I don't know. It's the whole King's Landing, it's all up in flames, so I don't know. But
Now, let me ask you this. What do you think John and the people of the North can do against the dragon? Because we saw how awesomely prevalent in battle that thing can be right now.
that's true.
And they don't really have scorpions in Winterfell. And Winterfell's not really standing right now either.
You know, but like the Night King and his army, you take out the head, and there's no army. Really. So
I don't know. You don't think Grey Worm will go to the mat for Missandei at this point? I think he kind of showed that, hey, I'm with the Dragon Queen and burn everything to the ground. You know, and I think Missandei was that match that ignited that fire.
But honestly, I would rather fight the Unsullied as opposed to fighting them and the dragon.
And the Dothrakis. We can't forget about the Dothrakis.
Yeah,
they still showed in the preview there.
Right.
Plenty of Dothrakis that we thought were decimated.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing.
Are still there, and seems to be a lot of them. So
yeah, that's for sure.
You got to watch out for those. It's going to be a good episode next week.
I wonder how they're going to tie it up. How they're going to tie it up? That's going to be difficult.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be a hard uphill battle for Winterfell and Jon, but I'm sure they'll probably do it.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
At least I hope so. Jon deserves some type of happiness,
I agree.
and not with his aunt.
Alright, we're gonna do some deep dive in here to
And don't be shy.
some of my thoughts on the Game of Thrones episode. I've had a little bit of time to go on some social media, do some looking around, seeing some people love it, some people are very upset. And I was like, I get it. It's the last few episodes, it seems a little bit rushed, but why are you mad? Like, they're not doing anything that they didn't do with any of the other characters. Like, the writing is still good. You feel bad for Cersei. Like, I mean, I'm as upset that she got crushed because I wanted somebody to kill her slow. But, like, compared to Daenerys, I feel bad for her. I feel bad for what happened in King's Landing. Like, they literally get you wrapped into the worst character in the show, the evilest character in the show, showing that, like, oh, I feel bad for this person because of what's happening. Like, that's still good writing. Where's Bran? Like, is he still watching Endgame? Is that still going on? Like, where was Bran the whole time? Like, I know he can't, like, fight or run or do anything, but I didn't see one crow. I didn't see one animal get warged into. He could have warged into the dragon and made it stop. Like, where was he at? Like, I wish that for how little time they have left, I feel like you have to have the characters that are left in, like, pretty much every episode to, like, tie up all the loose ends, because, like, this dude's just, like, hanging out in the north somewhere. Sansa was nowhere to be found. Obviously, when word gets back there, I got a feeling like next episode we're going to be seeing a lot of what happens when they find out the tragedy that's happened in King's Landing, and the fact that King's Landing's been pretty much razed to the ground. It's an ash pit now. From the episode end, like the recap where they're showing the clips of next episode, it looks like everyone who followed Daenerys down there was in accord with the massacre that went on, because like they look all happy about what's going on and like they're still accepting her as the leader. But I feel like Jon, who waited a little bit too long, he waited 45 minutes into rape and pillage to pull his guys out, like, I don't know, like, there's gonna be something said about that. She's definitely number one, and I think the only person left on Arya's list of people to kill now because she got on there. So Arya's heading back, Jon's heading back. It's gonna be real interesting to see how that works out, because like, I feel like for the last episode, they're either bringing everybody from the north down, or everybody in King's Landing is going back up north so that they can have resolution, because like they're gonna have to, a lot of story to tie off, a lot of loose ends. Like, I'm hoping it resolves itself, because at this point, like, Daenerys gotta go. I still feel like everybody somehow is going to most likely die. I'm just assuming everyone's gonna die.
Yeah.
Alright, this is fine, right? You can advertise for
I'll just
live
blur.
for free.
I'll just blur it out.
Sorry?
I'll just blur it out.
Oh, okay. Cool. Nice, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Alright, tell me when.
Go ahead.
Okay, the Lord of Light was absent in this episode as well. I think the religion thing is kind of debunked, demystified in the Game of Thrones universe, unless this last episode brings back some sort of like extra, mythos. Part of the lore of Game of Thrones is I think the real draw for people. Like, for me, all the religious connotation, but the Sept has been blown up, so the Seven is decimated. The Lord of Light, like, I guess, did his work, and his priestess died. We're the Azor Ahai prophecy. I don't think Azor Ahai is actually mentioned by name in the show. That's a book prophecy thing, but the Lord of Light is a stand-in for that. So prediction-wise, I really hope that there's some sort of mystical connection, because Hodor and his circular thing with the three-eyed raven, that was one of the best parts of the show, or the series in general. All of a sudden this is a science fiction program, and then of course the Night King backlash, and then we're finding out that all the secrets of Jon Snow's parentage through the three-eyed raven. I think it would just be cool if there was some sort of science fiction, lost, mystical connection to still come back in this final episode, especially since it was lacking from this particular episode that we watched. The final one, if they tie in the political with the mystical, the chosen thing, it could be cool. And then also one last twist on its head, will Jon Snow just kill Daenerys and take the throne? That would be a little too easy, right? So lots of dragon this episode. Love that dragon. Thanks for showing that CGI. Is that the reason that Daenerys didn't just go right for the Red Keep? Did she not go for the Red Keep because she thought, well, if I do the right thing, they're gonna love Jon Snow anyway, so I'll just be me? Because that's who she really is. A mad queen. Cheers.
Just a shout out to Diamond Age, and a shout out to iNerd for hosting this event, and for having us out here, and a shout out to Game of Thrones and the cast for not accidentally leaving a Starbucks cup in the middle of the production this time.
Yes.
Good job, guys.
Yeah. Also, a shout out to iNerd as well. Shout out to Game of Thrones. That's the reason that Game of Thrones is the thing that kind of brought me here. All that. And also, since it's Mother's Day, shout out to moms as well.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, for sure.
Be sure to follow us at iNerdForYou.com. You can find our links to the Facebook, our Facebook group, if you're a nerd and want to share. We have merch available, tons of shirts and things, both Game of Thrones related, superheroes, comic books, video games, anime, manga, everything you like and hate about media. So follow us at iNerdForYou.com. Be sure to like and subscribe below. Hit the little bell. We'll catch you guys next time.